let's get started on today's card. So for today's card, these are the supplies that we're going to use. We're going to use a butterfly out of the ephemera pack. For this particular card, we are going to use a sticker out of the stickers package, not chipboard stickers, but regular stickers. However, I will show you a couple of different options using some of the other materials that I got. We are going to use the sheet of rose paper, and that came as the B-side for one of the sheets of cut-aparts. And I'll put the name down below. A piece of pink cardstock, and this particular cardstock is called Pinkini or Bikini Rose, and it's from Basil. Now, I looked around and it's really hard to find the right shade of pink to go with these flowers. And this was one that had a little bit of a blue tone to it rather than a red tone or a yellow tone. So when you're looking for cardstock to go with, do pay attention to exactly what shade of pink it is. I actually took this sheet with me to Michael's to find the right color paper. There was a Martha Stewart pink that was very close, and it was the same light colored pink like this. We're going to need a sheet of deep purple cardstock. This happens to be a sheet also from Michael's of Recollections cardstock. It didn't have a color name on it, so the only thing I can tell you is the end of the SKU is 736883, but there is no color, so sorry about that. But it is one of the few dark purples that they had like this. And again, I looked at different colors to try to get the right shade of purple. You can see this has a little bit of a reddish tinge to it, and it was deep and dark. Now this sheet here is a sheet of Basil color cardstock, and you can tell it's just a different color, and I didn't think it went as well. It just wasn't contrasty enough. And this one has the name chopped off on it, so I'm not sure if I have the scrap with the name. Oh, here, this one was Pansy. I did find that the Blackberry Bliss cardstock, that was an in color, Stampin' Up! Color 2014 to 16, I think, is actually perfect for this, but I kind of have a little bit of a hoarding tendency and didn't want to be using up some of my precious stores of it on a card that I didn't really have a set purpose for. So, so this Michael's cardstock, Recollections cardstock, actually is a really good color for it. Now the other thing that I used on this is this embossing folder, and it is from Scrapbooking Made Simple. It's from the Moments to Memories collection, and it, as you can see, is a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11. I believe it's A4 sized, and it is a beautiful embossing folder of roses. Now I don't know if they still have this available. I thought I saw it on there when I was on the website last week, but when Stacy makes her custom products, and this is Simply Refined, Simply Defined, are her in-house brands. Once they're gone, they're gone. But here's the number, 53137. And it's a nice big pattern, which I thought would look good with the roses on the paper. So let's get started. This design is actually from a design that I found online in one of the collections of, I think it's Christy Marcotte does 34 cards out of a 6x6 sheet of paper, which is absolutely astonishing. And it was one of the card designs. It was something someday, and I'll put a little snapshot of the design on screen and link in the stuff video notes down below. So this is going to get mounted onto an A2 size card. So I cut the back piece to 5.5 by 4.25. I cut a piece of the decorative cardstock to 5.25 by 4. That leaves a 1/8 inch reveal all around. This piece then is 4.25. You can see it's the same width, and it's 3 inches wide. The pink piece is 2 7/8 by 4. It's another 1/8 inch reveal all around. And this piece was 2.25 by 2.25. Now you'll notice in the finished card that I actually used a sticker instead of a top piece, but if I had tried it out first with a top piece, and the little top piece would be 2 inches by 2 inches if you wanted to use that and then stamp something, stamp your sentiment on there. However, when I went in through all the different sets of ephemera and everything that I had, I found that I actually, the hello sticker was the perfect size. And that fits real nice with a little bit, not much of a reveal, but a little bit of a reveal all around. And I have a stamp set that had perfect size, the words "my friend," which I cut apart. It's a leap of faith to do that, and not everybody is willing to cut their stamps apart, but I wanted to put "hello" and "my friend" on the sticker. And we'll stamp that on there with some Imperial Purple VersaFine ink, and then we'll emboss over that with some clear embossing powder. Now, there are a couple other possibilities that I ran through, and before we put everything together, I'll just show you what some of the different options looked like, and you might decide that you like those better. So to start, we're going to use the pink background that I ended up with. And there were actually a couple of different alternatives that I kind of played around with. If you have the ephemera package, you can play around and see what you like too. So first I thought using the white card and putting one of the pieces of ephemera on there with a beautiful rose. And while that certainly looked nice, I kind of thought, and you can stamp a sentiment right here, I kind of thought it competed, and we have things were a little bit bluer and not, this had a little bit of cream to it, so so that one was out. I also found this nifty little typewriter and thought, well, that'd be kind of fun. So let's get rid of the white card, and you could put the little typewriter on there, and then instead of memories, you could cut a little piece of paper that's about, it looks like maybe about 1 inch wide. Yep. And fussy cut around the flowers, type your sentiment on the piece of paper and tuck it behind, and then tack it down at top and tack it down behind so it kind of looks like a piece of paper coming out of the typewriter. Thought that'd be kind of cute. If I didn't have the hello sticker and wanted to make this card again, that's actually what I would do. Then I also found this piece of ephemera that says cherished on the top. And when I took a look at it, I realized that it was about the right size. And if I trimmed off enough to give that same reveal, I'd actually have a second piece of ephemera that I could use on something else. And I could type my stamp my sentiment at the top here. That too was an option. I kind of like that option as well. So you can actually, with the ephemera package, make 3 cards like this, and all have them be just a tiny little bit different. Oops, come back here. Also from the ephemera package is this tiny little pink butterfly, and we're going to use him. Now, I did look at some of the butterflies that came with the collection, and I ruled them out for the simple fact that I felt that they kind of distracted from the overall look of the card. The butterflies are a little fancy, and the card in general is actually kind of tending towards clean and simple. So the white butterfly I thought would look nice, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to hide the beautiful embossed roses behind it, and didn't want to take the visual interest away from that. So butterflies fly away. The other thing that I did was I really struggled. This is a very straightforward card. It's easy and quick to put together, but I really struggled with what to do with the front. So let's just use this bad boy on here for argument's sakes. And I tried several different color combinations until I landed on the Pinkini paper. So this was a sheet of white cardstock, and I used some of the Blossom metallic gilding polish on it. And at the end of the day, while it was pretty, it just kind of didn't do it for me. It's very pretty. Certainly an option. It also wasn't quite the right color pink. Like I said, it was really hard to find the right color of pink. So that one was out. Another option that I tried, because there is this steel blue color in the roses, I thought that this metallic blue paint, it's the Finnabair Metallique, and this is in Ice Queen. And I just put it on a piece of white cardstock and then ran it through the embossing folder. I thought that that might be a nice option. However, it was a little too much blue, and because not a lot of the rose paper was sticking out, it was pretty, just didn't quite do it for me. Another option that I tried is some Inca Gold, and this color is Hydrangea, and this is actually a really good color match to the roses in the background. But again, for some reason, the shininess, when I was trying to pull everything together, it just wasn't coming out. And that was just some Inca Gold. So that one was out. I did actually, you'll notice a difference between the two, be hard to see, but when I ran this Blossom color piece through the embossing folder, and it didn't look like you could see it very well, I actually debossed it, and I kind of like the debossed side better than the embossed side. This one is raised, this one, the pattern is sunk into the card, and I do kind of like the debossed one better, actually. I thought that was a really pretty effect. So we could use either one of them on the card. Here, the pink cardstock. The smooth side is the debossed side, and then the textured side is the embossed side. For this card, because I want the roses to be facing upwards, I'm going to use the embossed side. So let's start putting the card together. when I laid the paper into the embossing folder, because this is a fairly large pattern, I tried to move most of the embossed pattern over to the right, knowing that on the left-hand side it was going to be covered up. So before I get too far along, I am actually going to put my sticker on my sheet before I adhere this down, just in case things don't go well. And before I do that, we are actually going to stamp our sentiment, my friend, onto the sticker, because that gives me more control of having the sticker in my MISTI and getting it lined up than if I did it afterwards. It's much easier to magnet down a large sheet of stickers than it is to magnet down a 2" by 2" piece. Sticker, I did put the piece of purple up to make sure it was covered on all the edges, and the sticker is just a little bit smaller than the purple card. Now, because I'm putting this on top of this embossed card here, I'm actually going to raise it up a little bit with some foam tape. And to do that, I have some pre-cut pieces right here. Now I want to have an even border around all 3 sides. We have the little butterfly, and he's going to go right off the edge here. So I'm actually going to take a glue dot on the bottom and then this little scrap foam tape on each wing. And there we go. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Leave us any comments in the comment section down below, and there will be a link to the blog post that will have a list of all the supplies. Thanks and have a great day. Happy crafting.